Drem Yolok, and welcome to Turn 4. Horse girls are always trouble, and Wicked Thunder is no exception. She's better than her sister in every way, even one-upping her on the furry scale. Hey! Don't get distracted. This may be the easiest Turn 4 we've had in ages, but it is still by no means free. Just stay focused on mechanics first, damage second, and you'll all canter across the finish line before you can say, friendship is magic. My name's Vera, and I'm here to show you how to saddle this pony in 16 minutes or less. Next verse, same as the first. Clock spots, light parties. LP1 goes left to right for a handful of mechanics. Additionally, consider setting your BGM to at least 80. Give It All may be an absolute banger, but just you wait. You've not heard anything yet. Wrath of Zeus is an aptly named big boy turn 4 raid wide, so make sure everyone is getting cut by 40 to 50%. Horse Girl will then bring out the purple wing lines from normal mode, but only one set. Look left. Purple cubes are preparing to shoot the front or back halves of every tile. Get in the right lane and dodge the lasers. They'll be offset from dead center one way or another, but max melee will always get you into a safe zone. Then form a line spread just like you did for M2, RTMH north to south. Either the outer 2 or middle 3 lines will telegraph exploding, and another set of cubes will prepare to fire from the west. Avoid both and stay spread. If you're in, stay away from the middle vertical, which has one extra cube to the north to catch you being lazy. If you're out, I find that lining myself up with the cubes and then running directly back works well. You may not have time to adjust if you look at the cube second. As everything goes off, half of you will also get stepped on by clones and get a vuln. They've got to avoid the next set of steppy steps, which will be on the 4 nearest or furthest players indicated by this icon. The pink compacted telegraph means near baits, the blue one that's more spread out means far. Respond appropriately while you dodge the second set of purple lines. No cubes to worry about this time. Witch Hunt's a little tougher. Spread into clocks with melee and healers swapped to reduce the chance of clipping each other. First, notice narrowing or widening. This tells you if it's donut into chariot or chariot into donut, respectively. Narrowing in, widening out. Next, you'll see the same telegraph that she just did. These are 2-man steps, not 4, and need to be baited accordingly while avoiding the AoEs. Because both halves of this mechanic always alternate, you know exactly how it's going to play out from the very first telegraph. Supports will always bait first, melee take near baits, ranged far. So the order's always either going to be THMR or HTRM. Near baits and donuts and far baits for chariots is the nicer pattern. Far baits and donuts and near baits on chariots is more annoying, as it requires more movement from everyone and is less intuitive. If you're having trouble, try saying near far, or vice versa out loud to yourself as the mechanic progresses. Helps me out a good bit. 1 spacer raid wide, make sure you respect it. After Witch Hunt, Edge 1 will give you a breather. Cubes are going to spawn in the corners, and Horse Girl will shoot them all once or twice, so stay back and out of the way. Make a mental note of which of them get hit twice, as they'll blow up their quarter of the room. Make sure you hit your 2 minutes here immediately. It's important to not drift a single second to squeeze in your 3rd burst window later. A half-room cleave will then eliminate one of the 2 remaining safe spots, leaving 3 squares to handle a set of spreads or pairs in, indicated by her balls. Melee will squeeze into the close square, MT under the boss, group 1 left facing middle, 2 right. A poorly timed gap closer will clip the tank here on spreads, so be careful. The pair AoEs are much larger than spreads, so make sure that you use all of your space. Wicked Jolt is a double hit line buster. Surprisingly, there's no dot here, so it can safely be invulned. Do so. Edge 2 is not nearly as simple. You'll get 4 short and 4 long debuffs, and she'll shoot you instead, not the corners, so hang out in your clock spots. This time, you're going to count how many times you get hit. Long timers will all get another stack later, and as such will start their counting from 1, not 0. Twilight Sparkle will then divide the room into a 5x5 grid and show this pattern, which can be rotated any direction. Orient yourself so that you're facing this square. That's the safe zone for long timers. Short timers are about to explode a number of squares around them, equal to however many times they got zapped. Always 2 supports and 2 DPS. Therefore, supports will go left, DPS right, and both people with short 3 will go to the far corners. Short 2s will go to the near corners, out of range of both short 3 and the safe zone. When things go boom, run back middle, as you've got a half-room cleave with pairs or spread. The pair variant, unlike on Edge 1, is targeted onto the long debuffs, not onto one roll or the other. If you get unlucky and get pairs, long 2 DPS goes under the boss and soaks with whichever DPS had short 2. Likewise for 3, who go out behind them. Facing the cleave, supports with 2 go left, supports with 3 go right. Spreads are always the same. Melee makes a T like on M3, but the convention has M1 under the boss to hit positionals, not MT. M2 goes out behind M1, with everyone else spreading left or right as per their group. Then, the mechanic repeats and you swap off. Shorts go chill in the safe zone, and long timers handle their debuffs in the same fashion. Stack up quick under the boss for a 5-hit marker. This isn't super threatening, so save your biggest mitt for the next phase, where you're gonna need it. Next, you're all gonna get yellow or blue debuffs, then Wicked Thunder will port north, go gun mode, and pick a side of the room to destroy. Don't look at her model, it's actually much easier to tell which way she's pointing by her hitbox. Watch that arrow like a hawk, please don't fucking stand on it, and sprint the other way the second it turns. This shit hurts. If you take more than 2 hits, you're almost certainly going to die. Tanks can greed a little bit here, but, please don't. Again, smash your 2 minutes instantly, super important. She'll port over and prepare to fire her laser. All of you need to get shot by the opposite color of your debuff. The closest player takes much more damage. Tanks should be right under the gun to stop DPS from autopiloting in front of them and getting one-shotted. That might have been me. Once. Or twice. The gun goes and you'll get a set of debuffs. This looks intimidating, but one set of static positions always solves it. You see these rivets on the tiles? If you're support and you get blue, you're going over here to the left. Conversely, DPS with blue will go to the right rivet. Pink goes right in the middle, and if you have arrows, you're going 1 inch in front of pink. You might notice that there are 2 kinds of arrows. Ignore that. This positioning drastically simplifies the mechanic with minimal collateral damage. It just works. This repeats twice. Your debuff will never swap, but the gun might, so you may or may not have to swap sides with each round. Stay on your toes. There's big damage here, and a death will cause a chain reaction and you're gone. You're gone. All gone. So make sure you've got mitt for each blast. Gun mode ends with another buster. OT, Voke, and Invuln. And then, Wicked Thunder will do the thing.
No! I cannot die here!
She do the thing, she do the thing!
No choice but to surrender to Electrope.
Turn that shit up, baby! Dun 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 dun.
Thunder is discharging vast amounts of ether!
Fucking tentacles, goddammit, Japan!
Something is growing from her body!
Look at her fucking go, man! Mommy! Mommy, 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 mommy! Hey, 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 oh, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, hey, oh, ah! So fucking hard, so fucking hard, so fucking hard, it goes hard! Oh my god! Oh my god, man. What a fucking game we play. LB that shit, let's fucking go! How do you beat the steel chair? You become the steel chair. Mecha Mommy is a big believer in using her strongest attack first. Crosstail switch practically requires tank LB3 to survive. Slam it when the cast bar gets to switch to avoid death. It is possible to heal through it, but it's extremely difficult, and all but the best healers will fail to keep up. Chances are, you don't have the best healers in the party finder. With the last hit, a huge mess of exaflares are gonna pop up. Most of this is visual bullshit designed to make you panic and can be ignored. Split off into LPs, 1 left, 2 right, then look across the room for the arrow that's pointing away from you. Squeeze in tight between the exaflares beside that lane and don't slip off. There's no coming back from the edge. You'll get some stack markers too, but they're whatever. They're fucking massive and they do chip damage, so they're more distracting than anything. Wicked Special will slam a giant fuck-off sword in the middle or shoot pew-pew lasers at the sides. Look boss and dodge. Plenty of time. Once that's done, group mid for Mustard Bomb, which is a fake mechanic. Tanks will pick up a pair of tethers and then everyone takes a square. 1 left, 2 right, tanks and healers in the middle. Tanks and 2 people in each group will explode, and the tanks will have another bomb ticking on them that needs to be passed off onto whoever didn't blow up in their group. Pass the hot potato, go back to your square, chill, and that's pretty much it. Ethereal Conversion is another fake mechanic. She'll charge her tentatails with fire or water, doing a big AoE or knockback respectively, and smash them on the conspicuously glowing red dots on the floor in the same order. This will be the memory component of the fight, but for whatever reason, the visual never goes away, so all you gotta remember is the order. If you could immune the knockback, it would literally be a normal mode mechanic. Azure Thunder is even stronger than Wrath of Zeus. Feint Reprisal Addle with Heavy Mitt or you're probably gonna die. Twilight Sabbath is the first actual thing she does. Group hug dead center of the platform. She'll make a circle, that's a real wall, don't touch it, and spawn in cleaving clones 2 at a time. Wait for baited AoEs, which are massive, so dead center, and sprint into the safe quadrant. Identifying where to go fast enough may take some practice. If you're struggling, try focusing on one clone and dodging perpendicular to it so that you can watch the group and adjust the enter 2 either way for the other. The next 2 clones won't have baits, but will have a wicked special eating up a good chunk of the safe zone. Look clones first, then boss. If you're lucky, you may not even have to move. Midnight Sabbath follows hot on its heels. Split off into intercardinal pairs and run to the wall. This time, 8 clones are going to spawn, 4 at a time in sets of wings or guns. Wings are donuts, and guns, do gun things. If the intercards are guns and you need to move, go counterclockwise. While you're doing that, watch the cast for scattered or concentrated, which are spreads or pairs respectively. Again, scattered, spread, both S words, so it's easy. Support left, DPS right for this, facing the middle of the room. You'll get the opposite mechanic with the second set of clones. The sets are fully random, so you can get 2 sets of either or 1 of each. If you've got to move twice, go back to your inner card. Super simple. Don't die to this. Another wicked special will try to catch you off guard right afterward. Getting caught by special is the most embarrassing way to die. Don't let it be you. Wicked Thunder isn't as threatening as Azure. Moderate Mitt will suffice. A second set of stored tentacles, which will go off after the next mechanic, Chain Lightning. Surprise! It's pretty much fake too. She's gonna destroy the middle, so split off into LPs, then soak a set of towers, TMHR front to back. Now, lightning is going to arc between the towers in a random order. No tower can be picked more than once, and you can set up early to the first one, so you really only have to remember the middle two. I highly recommend standing beside the swords next to the edge to avoid getting clipped. The circles do overlap a good bit. Unfortunately, position 4 is out of melee range. Be very careful to not use any gap closers while you are at position 4.
What?
You're joking. You're fucking joking, dude. Avoiding the tentacles afterward shouldn't be an issue. Chain Lightning barely requires any brain power. Another mustard bomb, identical to the first. I wish she'd have gone with a ketchup bomb to mix things up a little. Tanks can invuln this in an emergency, but you should never have to. Should. I've learned that there's always a first time for everything in the PF.
Bruh.
Stored tentacles. Again. You might want to make a note of this one. Danger, Azure Thunder. Big Mitt required. Sunrise Sabbath is the only real prog point in the entire phase, and it's not even hard. Despite this, I'd wager you'll become quite frustrated with how much people seem to screw it up anyway. There are 2 popular strategies to deal with it. I'll cover normal first. First things first, you've got the gun debuff from phase 1 again. Check it for a short or long timer. This time, 4 guns are always going to spawn at intercards and 2 wings each west. These are not donut wings. Instead, they're going to jump across the room in the direction they're looking, creating 2-man towers east-west or north-south. As you might expect, long timers will get the first set. DPS northeast and support southwest. They're right against the wall and pretty small, so cozy up and don't move until you get stepped on. Meanwhile, short timers are going to bait the guns away from the towers and along the edge of the room to avoid hitting anyone else. Since debuffs and gun colors are random and you still need to get hit by the opposite color, you need a priority system. DPS will look north and clockwise for their gun, supports northwest and counterclockwise. Once you've identified your mark, you've got to get as close to the wall and the clone as possible to avoid getting clipped by the other guns. I mean, really get in there. Suck those hooves, baby. Everything goes off, and if it's not a complete disaster, a wicked special will follow up before the mechanic repeats and everyone swaps responsibilities. Tentacles will resolve directly afterward. If the second set gets completely fucked up, it's still likely that you can healer LB3 and save the clear. The Enrage is just that undertuned. Just make sure you do it after the tentacles if it's water. Transcendence does not work on knockbacks. Alternatively, there's an uptime strat floating around that people are calling AutoCAD. This strat uses a set of extremely precisely placed markers. Instead of getting a mouthful of keratin, you're gonna find your gun and stand on the closest edge of the marker to the towers. In the middle of that edge. Not in the middle of the marker, not on the corner, not with a toe on the edge. On that edge precisely. Tower players need to hug the wall really tightly, but this positioning won't clip anybody while giving all baiting players full uptime. Pick your favorite. Plenty of people seem to struggle with both, so it's not a question of reliability, but it seems to be a 50-50 split between these two strats right now in the PF, so it would be good for you to know how to do both in a pinch. And now, one last idiot check to close things out. Sword Quiver is flashy, but super simple. Keep your jitters under control and you've got this. Wicked Thunder will cut the arena 3 times with that giant fuck-off sword of hers. The cuts will explode in a moment, creating 3 safe spots on each side of the room. The 4th cut will slice across and eliminate 2 of them. Pair up just like you did for Midnight Sabbath. Intercards are your default safe zones. If you get a line through yours, you're going to the middle instead. The explosions are larger than you might expect, so be well out and right between the lines. Partner soaks will go out at the same time, so if you get clipped, you're toast. Return middle for heals and repeat 2 times. A substantial amount of damage goes out here, so use whatever's left of your mitt and do whatever you can to help out. Enrage is coming up soon, and you really don't want to hit such a generous timer. That would just be embarrassing. Burn, 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 and that final line you'll cross. Come on! Got it! I knew I had a good feeling about those guys! We're free! We're free! Moaning horsewoman! Steel chair absorbing tentacles!
The match is decided!
Electrope enhancement climax.
To the challenger.
Solid fight. I do see what people are talking about with Phase 2 being underwhelming, though. There should have been a little bit more in Phase 2. The fight's really front-loaded. But goddamn, man, the presentation in this fight is unbelievable.
It's all
I don't care if the tier is easy. I don't care if the enrage is fake. If we keep getting shit like this, man, we eatin' well. We keep getting shit like this, dude. Unbelievable production value. Oh, get the weapon? The weapon? No way. Oh my lord. Sick, dude. Orange Parson, let's go. Yeah, Phase 2 was a little too easy, and yeah, Picto really fucked up the DPS checks, but I genuinely loved this tier. It's just oozing with style and personality and incredible music. Asphodelos is in complete shambles. I can't fucking wait to see where we go from here, and FF16 taught me to never, ever doubt that Yoshida will live up to expectations. You made friends?! He doesn't deserve it! Fuck this guy! Did we forget he's a genocidal maniac? Why does nobody care about the dragon he fucking murdered 5 seconds ago? We'll just, pretend this never happened. Nidhogg was right about mortals. Nidhogg was fucking right. Nidhogg did nothing wrong, he was a good boy. He had it right. And that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope this is helpful, and I'll see you next tier. May you be blessed.